Welcome to Living Local with Lori.
Hi, I'm Lori Johanneson, a top performing realtor in Naperville and the surrounding suburbs. My goal with Living Local is to connect my friends, my family, and my clients with other local area experts as well as businesses. Today, I'm lucky to be sitting here with Rebecca. You can go ahead and introduce yourself and what you do. We'll start with that.
Awesome. My name is Rebecca Willey. My husband and I own Radon Xpress. We are a veteran-owned and operated radon mitigation company out of Naperville.
Excellent. So radon is a very common thing in this part. So a lot of people who relocate here are always scared of radon and what to do. So if you can explain to everybody the steps that you go through once you find out you have radon in the home, that would be helpful.
Absolutely. So overall, in general, the Midwest is very high when it comes to radon levels. The one thing that we always tell our clients, however, is that elevated radon should not affect the deal. It should not dissuade you from purchasing the home, and it definitely shouldn't kill the deal. Every home is able to be mitigated from elevated radon. So the first thing we tell our clients is take a look at your radon report. If the levels come back high, the very first most important thing is to determine whether you have a passive system already present in your home or if you do not. In 2013, the state of Illinois began to regulate that builders need to install passive systems. It's essentially like the rough-in for plumbing in their homes. So we see, however, back to like early 2000s, some homes have passive systems built in, and that can really greatly decrease the cost of the radon system you have to put in. So sometimes they can be a little difficult to find. But we always encourage our clients to either check their home or have us come out and see if you have a passive system, because that can save you a lot of money. Once we've determined if there is a passive system or not, we take a look at a few factors to determine not only what type of system you need, but what the cost is going to be. We look at what the radon levels actually are. So we kind of break them down into tiers. What we consider low is a level of 15 or below. That is what you can use like the standard equipment for. And then we kind of break it down past that 15 to 30, 30 to 45. And the type of radon fan and equipment we use is greatly determined by the radon level itself, as well as what is the age of the home, what foundation types do you have. If you have just an unfinished basement, that style of radon system is going to be a lot less expensive and a lot more straightforward than if you have multiple foundation types, if you have gravel or dirt crawl spaces. So it's really important to know what you're working with in your home, because that can help us or anyone quote you a very specific type of system. With radon, overkill is not necessary. We see a lot of people installing systems that effectively are overkill, that you could get away with doing a lot less and get the exact same results. We're able to, our highest readings we've ever mitigated was 133, and we were able to get that down to a 0.4. So it's less about how much you need to mitigate a home, but it's choosing the right components that will work for your home specifically.
Excellent. That's a really high radon level. I had a radon level of 36, and
Okay.
I have people who freak out all the time, anything that's, slightly over 4. And I'm like, I'm still here, and mine was 36 and it was fixable. So once a system is installed, how often should you check the system to make sure that it is still working and your radon levels have stayed at the level that they should be at?
Sure. So the EPA recommends that you test your home every 2 years. And that's radon ebbs and flows because it has to do what's going on underneath the ground. And so if you're checking every 2 years, you're getting a really good snapshot of whether your system is working effectively. We personally encourage you to check in summer, and then, in 2 years, maybe check in winter, because environmental factors such as weather, wind, all those sorts of things can have an effect on what the radon levels are. But the number one thing we tell our clients is on every system, you have that little manometer with either the blue or the red liquid, and it'll tell you where the levels are supposed to be written right on it. Anytime you go in the basement, just check it out. We've seen people who never look at their systems ever, and that gel actually coagulates, and the fan actually hasn't been running for 5 years. They just thought it was. So you should be able to put your hand on the pipe and feel a bit of vibration, or just really taking a look at the manometer and the liquid. But as far as testing goes, every 2 years is sufficient.
Excellent. And I thought it was every 5. So I learned something today. So I appreciate it. I love to end my living locals with a fun fact about you. So if you can share a fun fact.
Absolutely. So I am a military spouse. That's something I take very seriously and hold it near and dear to my heart. My husband is a U.S. Army Black Hawk pilot. And so he flies helicopters as his night job, essentially. And so we've moved all over. He's been in the Army for a little over 20 years. And so that's a big part of our life. And just very proud to be a military spouse.
Yes, and I appreciate the service and obviously what you go through, probably always worrying, which
Thank you.
Probably a thing that is very common. So thank you again for being a part of Living Local. I'm happy to continue to refer you to clients who need systems, and hope to talk to you very soon.
Thank you so much.
Please remember to follow us on our social media channels, as well as livinglocalwithlori.com.